Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I don't know if this mic is working. No, you can't hear me. Um, here. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Um, uh, New mic. We're getting used to it. Alright. Alright. Bad-Tempered Badger will be joining me shortly. Um, and Notja Witness might be making an appearance. We will see. Gotta stop looking at my screen over here. Alright. So, okay, if you can hear a kind of whirring in the background, it's probably my heater. Maine is a cold place in the middle of winter. Alright. So, today we're going to continue reading Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health. We have not got far in it at all. We're on page 13, and most of those 13 pages were title page and table of contents anyway, so... while we wait for Bad-Tempered Badger and possible guest star Notcha, I can recap what we've read so far. We've covered the four dynamics, which are seeking to... I can actually show them to you on the screen, because Streamlabs. If I scroll up, here we go. The four dynamics. The urge, the first one, the urge of the individual to reach the highest potential survival in terms of the self and his immediate symbiotes. Dynamic 2, the urge of the individual to reach the highest potential survival in terms of sex, the act and the creation of children and their rearing. Dynamic 3, the urge of the individual to reach the highest potential of survival in terms of the group, whether civil, political, or racial, and the symbiotes of that group. Dynamic 4, the urge of the individual to reach the highest potential of survival in terms of mankind and the symbiotes of mankind. Last time, I believe we discussed what we thought symbiotes meant. We're still not sure. We've also discussed, I'm not sure if we read it, but I think we did. But we discussed what auditing was. Brief recap, that's where you go and hold two little electrodes, and then you get asked uncomfortable questions until a little needle stops spiking. This is because what it's basically doing is they're running a small current through your body, and whenever you get asked a question that is uncomfortable, you involuntarily make incredibly small twitches, which make the needle spike. And they ask you these questions over and over and over again until the needle stops spiking, which is you've become numb, basically, to the question, no longer bothers you, at least at that moment. They also, we covered Scientology's belief on memory, which is that the human mind does not remember things, it records things, and that those recordings are connected with basically their version of bad juju. And sorry. Sorry for that. Yep. Basically, their version of bad juju. And because of that, it causes a bunch of bad stuff like mental illness and what they call psychosomatic illness, which really they mean any illness that's not like a broken leg or a bullet wound. Yeah. And they believe that through auditing, you can turn those recordings into memory. Which, just an extra step. Why? It's an extra step that doesn't actually exist. So, don't know why that's in there. They don't believe in the conscious and unconscious mind. They believe in the reactive mind, which is what people would call the conscious mind, and the recording mind, I believe it was called. They're weird. We will continue reading today. Sorry, my phone is buzzing. Just have to look at this quick. Bad-tempered badger will be on his way in just a moment, and we can start reading. I'm gonna turn my phone down. Sorry. There we are. All right. So, if there's anything anyone wants to know... Oh, just going to look at the chat real quick here. Yes? Good morning, Terry. Yeah? Yeah, you're Australia. It's morning where you're at. Yeah. Nice to see you, Doorknob Head. And Mr. Shadow Kitty, thank you for joining us. Yep. I mean, I feel like Scientology would attract a very different crowd if they were attaching electrodes to people's nuts. Doorknob. They would... Very different crowd, although probably just as into it as Scientologists are today. Yes, so does anyone have any questions about Scientology so far? I'm basically learning. Some of you guys probably know more about it than I do. I'm basically learning it on the fly right now. Hey, Terry, you have a mic. Yeah, if you want to hop on sometime, probably around the middle of stream, that's something that can be done. But beginning of stream, I think it'll probably just be Badger and myself. And possibly Nacha, if he's awake. You know, he's been having... Yeah, if he's awake. He may hop on. Terry, yeah, okay. Whew. So, we're on page 13, and we'll pick up from probably the last paragraph of page 12, just for clarity. Yes. Brant wasn't able to come on today, right? So I started asking a couple people if they were interested. I thought about asking Kent Hovind. Brant suggested, kind of jokingly. But, you know what? If Kent Hovind wants to be on this stream and rip on Scientology with me, I would be more than happy to have him. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you guys think? If I could get Kent Hovind on stream, what do you guys think of that? Oh, does he live in Queensland? Yeah, but what do you guys think of Kent Hovind being on stream? I mean, I'm pro Kent Hovind on stream. Though, you know, some people aren't quite so fond of him for some reason. You know, like the IRS. Just, you know, small little organizations. I asked Steve McRae if he wanted to be on. He said he'd consider it, but he had, of course, non sequitur. So, but you know what? Eventually, I want to get Steve McRae on. I feel like that could be a very interesting stream. I did have Shannon Q on very briefly. The first time we discussed Scientology on this channel, though I do want to get her on again for, you know, longer and a more, you know, probably like a full stream kind of thing. I've been trying to get Christy Santiago on stream, but she's a very busy person and usually is busy, so that hasn't happened quite yet. Yes, Steve is also a busy man. And what happened here? Sorry, just a mo. Hey, there we are. Hey there, Badger. Nope.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is it working?
It should be working.
It is.
Yes. Alright.
Apologies for the delay. I had to return some videotapes.
Videotapes? I don't know anyone who's used a videotape, and well, I'm basically a fetus, so it doesn't really matter.
Clearly, you don't live in the woods.
I live pretty much in the woods. This is Maine. We don't clear the forest to make room for our settlements. The forest gives us small pockets of empty land where we struggle to survive.
Interesting.
Yes. But now that you are here, we can continue. Well, for you, start, but for me, continue reading the 330 pages of Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health.
Oh dear. Well, what page are you
on? Page 13, but I was gonna pick it up from the last paragraph of page 12.
Actually, oh, there we go.
Yes. So,
let me just get the chat open.
yeah.
Who are you again?
Huh?
I'm trying to find your channel in my list here. It's gone.
Alright. Here, I can...
he's live. It'll be easy. No, apparently I've subscribed to too many channels.
Here, I can send you a link to the stream on Twitter real quick.
Oh, this is going to be easy.
Oh, you know,
there you are.
This is a lot easier than it usually is. The last stream, the first 30 minutes were just technical difficulties. That was it.
I like technical difficulties. They're good fun.
I mean...
I've opened the stream twice. Genius.
Alright. I sent you the link to the stream if you want to...
Yeah, I've got it. I'm just doing a quick Twitter announcement to let the viewers know I have arrived.
Yes.
If anyone cares to look at my Twitter.
I mean, I look at your Twitter. That's, yeah.
Hey!
Yeah,
I spell Dianetics. Dianetics.
Yeah, it's spelled pretty much out. I'm also subscribed to God, so... He's a nice dude. A bit bipolar, but, you know.
Yeah, he can be a bit drowny sometimes.
Yeah, I mean... You know, there's times that I wish I could pull a Jehovah and, just do a bit of drowning, but unfortunately, it's not something you're allowed to do. So...
Yeah, it's a shame that.
It is, you know? I wonder if that would hold up in a court of law God did it, so...
I was feeling a bit drowny. Right, I have done the tweeters.
The
I
tweeting.
think.
All right. I'm just gonna pop that here. All right. I'm loving having a touch screen laptop. It just lets me move the screen so much more easily. All right.
I've never got on with touchscreens very well, but then I'm kind of like
Yeah,
apparently
pause.
I'm just like old now and I have pause. So.
Yeah. All right. So, do you know what cleared means?
Not in this context.
Most people don't. So, so you understand some things. Cleared is someone who has aligned all of their dynamics and is basically the spiritual pinnacle of Scientology.
I see.
Yes. Released, someone who is released, is someone who no longer has bad blocks with their dynamics. It is basically without mental disorder or anything like that. There. Yes. So I think this page we're about to get into starts to... Yep. It discusses how they believe memory works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I hope you could do with some fewer brain cells, because you will lose them.
Well, yeah. It's a bit late now, anyway. I'm already drunk.
Yeah, unfortunately, as a minor, I've never touched alcohol once in my life.
Did they not allow it down the mines?
No, they don't, unfortunately.
That's a real shame.
All right, so last paragraph of page 12. Cleared, I is able to reach all moments of his lifetime without extraction or discomfort and perceive all he has ever sensed, recall them in full motion, color, sound, tone, and other senses. The completeness...
Which page 12 are you on?
The last paragraph of page 12. The very, the very bottom of the page.
You know what I've done? I haven't accounted for the contents page.
Yeah, I'm just going by the numbers at the top of each page that are part of the page.
Can you just read slightly more?
Sure. So this slightly more up, or just keep going?
Enough so that I can find it by typing what you're saying in the search.
Okay, here. All therapy is done, comma, not by remembering or associating, comma.
Yeah, there we are, I have it.
There you are. Yes.
I think. Oh, no, I don't.
By traveling on the time track, period. Next sentence. Every human being has a time track, period. Next sentence. It begins with life and it ends with death. Next sentence. It is a sequence of events complete from portal to portal as recorded.
Okay, I think is the next line the conscious mind in Dianetics?
It is.
I'm in the right place. Let's do this.
Woo! All right. So I can actually pick it up from there. The conscious mind in Dianetics is called by the somewhat more precise term of analytical mind. The analytical mind consists of the I, the center of awareness. All computational ability of the individual and the standard memory banks, which are filled with all past perception of the individual, awake or normally asleep, all material which is engramic. No data are missing. No data are missing from these standard. Is that good English? Does he English good? I feel like
No.
Yeah. I don't English good either, so.
I'm dyslexic.
From these standard banks, all are there barring physical organic defects in full motion, color, sound, tactile, smell, and all senses. The eye, in quotation, may not be able to reach his standard banks because of reactive data, which bar portions of standard banks from the view of eye. Cleared eye is able to reach all moments of his life without exertion or discomfort and perceive all he has ever sensed, recalling them in full motion, color, sound, tone, and other senses. The completeness and profusion of data in the standard banks is a discovery of Dianetics, and the significance of such recall is yet another discovery.
I see.
Don't
Also,
we all?
what?
So obvious. Just, what does he mean? I'm not even sure. I think
It's I think I have. I think I'm gonna have a stroke.
yeah. 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 I smell burnt toast. This is
Oh, I'm sorry, my toaster's malfunctioning.
Alright, yes. So now they're going to talk about auditing. The auditor directs the traveler of I along the patient's time track. They're just using fucked up words to say memories.
Didn't he write science fiction books before this?
Yeah. He was a
He sounds like a science fiction writer.
Yeah,
But he sounds like the kind of science fiction writer that's really up his own ass about science fiction.
He was a science fiction author who was up his own ass about science fiction.
He sounds like the sort of science fiction author that would write a book about time travel and say it'll take you 15 reads to understand what's going on.
Oh, I hate those people. Because I'm just so very smart. You cannot understand. Yeah. So, time track. They just mean the timeline of your memories. How you remember things in sequence.
That's what that sounds like.
The patient. Because this is a medical procedure.
Oh.
Yes. Don't you know? The patient knows everything which is taking place, is in full control of himself, and is able to bring himself to the present whenever he likes. No hypnosis or other means are used. Man may not have known that he could do this, but it is simple. Basically, it's like regression therapy without like going into a past life. That's what he's trying to say it is.
Am I supposed to be the only face appearing on the stream, by the way?
No. But
I just glanced, and it's just me. It's just me now. I run this show.
Oh yeah, like people in stream don't know it, but I'm switching over the ownership of this channel to you after this stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be excellent. I'm gonna like run this into the ground. Get it? Because I'm a badger, so underground.
Well, you don't have far to go.
Carry on.
Yes. So, I don't know why he brings up hypnosis. He's just trying to discredit another kind of bullshit. Like, that's all he's doing. He's trying to say, no, don't listen to their bullshit. Listen to my bullshit.
Doesn't he like despise, or didn't he like despise psychiatrists?
Yep, he fucking hates psychology. Yeah, like
outstanding.
Yeah, they have Scientologists have an entire museum dedicated to fuck psychology.
I see.
Yes. So the next paragraph. The auditor, with precision methods, recovers data from the earliest unconscious moments of the patient's life, such unconsciousness being understood to be caused by shock or pain, not mere unawareness. The patient thus contracts the cellular level engrams. I'm gonna just real quick look up what an engram is.
A cellular level engram.
Cellular level engram.
Yeah, I'm getting in my head some sort of flashbacks to Commander Data in Star Trek. Because he's a mechanical being, so it's entirely possible to remove parts of his memory. In fact, it did that when he was malfunctioning that one time. He went all wonky, and they got hold of him and sorted him out. And he stood there looking at Geordi, going, "I appear to be missing some memory engrams." And Geordi just holds up some little memory sticks. And he goes, "Oh, there they are."
Which is pretty accurate. So for those of you, much like myself, who do not know what an engram is, it is defined by the Webster's Dictionary as a hypothetical permanent change in the brain accounting for the existence of a memory trace.
I see.
You know, Shannon probably would have known that, right off the bat. Yeah. The patient thus contracts the cellular level engrams. So, the person who's being audited would have memories. Would contract memories.
They'd contract them?
Yes, contract memories.
Okay.
Memories are about
is this like a serious condition, or can it be treated?
You know what? If you go to Scientology, like a workshop, very treatable. You just have to pay $9.99 per engram.
There is one in the town near where I live, actually, a little Scientology shop. It's got the books in the window.
Ooh. You know, it's a good thing that no one knows where your burrow is, because they would start squirrel bustering. Who doesn't?
Well, you see, that's why I live in the woods, that way outside of town, so I don't have to deal with this Scientology bullshit.
Do they go door to door? You know, just have you heard the word?
Have you heard the great word about the memory engrams?
Yeah. Have you heard about Lord Xenu? We haven't got into anything about the aliens yet, but
you haven't got to the aliens. Yeah, that's the best bit.
It is the best bit. Yeah. You know what? If this was a book, you know, like if it is a book, it's many books. But if this was a fictional book, right? It would be the kind of book where, like the Bible. You know, it would be the kind of book someone would say, you gotta give it, you know, you gotta get past the first 10 chapters before it really gets good.
Yeah, it'd be the Lord of the Rings situation where I'm trying to read it and I'm dyslexic, and I'm there and I'm reading the book and I'm falling asleep reading, and I'm going, I'm 15 chapters in and it hasn't got to Bilbo's birthday yet.
Yeah, The Hobbit is, or The Lord of the Rings is definitely a series where, looking back on it, it was very entertaining, because just in your memory recordings, you just cut out all the boring bits.
Oh yeah, it's an excellent book series as long as you read the good parts.
Yeah. Much like Scientology, very good story. Involves aliens and volcanoes, and
good book, sad ending.
Yeah. Where did I go?
Engrams.
Engrams! Who doesn't love engrams? Okay. Level engrams. Return to them and progressed through them by the auditor. The patient re-experiences these moments a few times, when they are then erased and refiled automatically as standard memory. So, basically what they're saying there is that you're not actually remembering something. It's just a recording that gets pulled up every once in a while, which we call a memory. Yeah. But you have to go and get audited so that you can release the recording and it can get filed as an actual memory.
I see. Well, I'd rather, in fact, not be audited. Can we do it that way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. You gotta get a special little machine to get it, so. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that, so we should be alright.
Yeah. I don't know if your little paws would fit around it anyway, so.
I already have a special machine, and half the buttons don't work.
Alright. So when they are then erased and refiled automatically as standard memory, is this like the owner's manual? You know, it's automatic start, automatic refiling. We got rid of the manual refiling. You know, it was a whole cabinet system, man. It was.
Well, the manual refiling was just causing a whole lot of user problems because people weren't filing them correctly.
Right. Yeah.
They were mislabeling the engrams.
Yeah. Engram mislabeling.
The doorknob head, yes, my special machine does vibrate.
I mean, my favorite machines vibrate. I feel, you know?
All the best machines vibrate.
Exactly. Some sort of vibrating handheld device. Don't know what it could be.
Have you ever been on baddragon.com?
I'm not going to say no.
Carrying on.
So far as the auditor and the patient can discover, the entire incident is now vanished and does not exist. So basically, they're white.
That's a relief.
Yeah, they're just taking a big old magnet and just waving it over your computer banks. Yes. If they searched carefully in the standard banks, they would find it again, but refiled as once abbreviated, do not permit as such into computer. In quotes.
What?
I don't know.
This book is like used by people for things, isn't it?
Yes.
How?
I don't know. This is just the synopsis.
It's not like reading it's not like reading the manual for a nuclear reactor. You know, that doesn't make sense. You know, you can look at the manual for a nuclear reactor and it won't make sense to you because you're not, you know, a nuclear technician. You do not have the prerequisite knowledge to understand the manual of a nuclear reactor. But you can see that the sentence structure is coherent and that if you knew the terminology, it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, it's just kind of once aberative, do not permit as such into computer, and you're kind of
like, why is
those are words.
Yeah.
I know what those words mean independently of each other, but put them together in that way, and they don't mean like stuff. They just mean what?
Yeah. Okay, something weird is happening with the stream. It says it's offline, but it also says that it's live.
Let me just refresh it and make sure it's going good.
Yeah.
Well, it's still going.
All right.
Let me just refresh it and make sure.
Okay, so
there's me saying that thing I said.
So it is going. Weird.
That might be why your face isn't appearing right.
Well, the video we're talking through Google Hangouts, which is what my face should be on. But I think it's just because there's the two of us. It's only showing you through my recording. Yes. On your end, is it only showing my face?
At the moment, because I've clicked on you.
Okay. Well,
I don't know how to unclick on you.
If you just click on me
Oh,
again.
like that.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, it's only showing your face. Maybe it's are you
Am I
are
clicked on
you
your face?
streaming? Are you doing it like Are you doing like a screen sharing thing, or are you doing the Google Hangouts doodly do?
What I'm doing is I have a Google Hangouts open, and then in Streamlabs OBS, I'm capturing that window to put it on.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think if you click on yourself, it'll fix.
Perhaps.
I'm stuck on the chair again.
So now everyone can see me.
Let me just check that.
And if I unclick that, no, if I unclick my face, it just goes back to only being you and doesn't switch between.
Oh, there you are.
Hey there, Badger.
Yeah, I see you now. Well, you can see me in the little corner there, so I think that'll work fine.
No, all right. I almost X'd out of the Google Hangouts. I did it last stream. It was.
Don't do that.
All right, there we go.
Your eyebrows are slightly more dynamic than my cigar smoke, so I think if we go that way.
Yeah, I've carefully cultivated my eyebrow movement.
Outstanding.
So I don't have to use my hands to gesticulate, but I do anyway. You know.
I would show you my eyebrows, but they're behind these amazing sunglasses, so it's a bit bright for a nocturnal creature. So.
So let us continue. All right, let's see this. So they're erased and automatically refiled, and they're refiled as once abbreviated. I read that really quickly as abbreviative, but I know I'm saying, yeah, ablative.
Abracadabra.
Alakazam! Ablative, do not permit as such into computer. So is it saying, God, no, I think I understand what he's saying.
You've been reading this too much. You're starting to become attuned to Mr. Hubbard's mental state. I'm not sure if this is a good thing.
You know what? Maybe I am Mr. Hubbard's reincarnation. They believe in reincarnation in Scientology, so maybe I'm just a reincarnation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could be.
Maybe.
In that case, you should go there and take him over.
Oh yes, Mr. Miscavige would very easily step down.
Just go there, do the eyebrows, and say, "I am."
I am L. Ron Hubbard. Look at this. I can move my eyebrows independently. I feel like that's something me and L. Ron probably share. Eyebrow
probably.
movement. Yes, but what I think he's saying is, once abrogated, do not permit as such as the computer. I think he means that our memory banks are the computer, and that the memory or recording was once an aberration, and it should not be remembered as such in our memory banks.
Okay, so it'll not go that way. It'll go the other way. Outstanding. As Doorknob Head puts it, the text will suck you in. No, wait, it will suck.
Yeah. So, late areas of unconsciousness are impenetrable until early ones are erased. So basically, they're saying, we can't deal with your engram shit that happened yesterday until we deal with the engram shit that happened when you were 3. just to keep you coming back for more, I guess, you know?
Uh, I'm having some issues with this here.
Yeah. We've been going for, about 40 minutes, and we haven't got through page 13.
You see, I never really got sort of deep into the beliefs. I've only seen it from an outside perspective of, this is what the members do, like video clips of people protesting outside their places and them turning up and going through exactly every time the script that they're supposed to say when people are opposing them.
Yeah, like, that's, I think, what most people see, and,
Yeah.
like, the reason, kind of post hoc, the reason I'm doing this, originally the reason was I figured, Brant and I figured this would be entertaining. You should read Scientology. But, like, post
Yeah.
hoc, the thing that I'm going to tell people from now on, the reason I'm doing this, is because people need to know about the real crazy beliefs so that they can be countered and people can shy away from them. Something real
Yeah.
noble like that, exposing their
Well,
lies.
it's been 40 minutes, and there's another 200 pages left at least, yet. So
Yeah.
This is going well.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to try to speed through the rest of this page.
All right.
The amount of discomfort experienced by the patient is minor. He is repelled mainly by engrammic commands, which variously dictate emotion and reaction. In a release, the case is not progressed to the point of complete recall. In a clear, fill memory exists throughout the lifetime, with the
Yes, that's
addition.
more beer, by the way.
Oh, you need it. You need it, man. With the additional bonus that he has photographic recall in color, motion, sound, etc., as well as optimum computational ability. The psychosomatic illnesses of the release are reduced, ordinarily, to a level where they... Ordinarily to a level where they do not thereafter trouble him. In a clear, psychosomatic illnesses have become non-existent and will not return since its actual source is nullified permanently.
Okay. Where are we? Oh, no, I see it.
The Dianetic release is comparable to a current normal or above. The Dianetic clear is to a current normal individual as the current normal individual is to the severely insane. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever listened to the song Frontier Psychiatrist?
I have not, no.
I recommend it. It has such amazing lines as, "He was white as a sheet, and he also made false teeth."
That is some, like, lyrical genius. Like, Eminem, back your shit up.
It's one of the best things ever, but the reason it's suddenly in my head is one of the verses just goes along like, "That boy needs therapy. It was psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy." Yeah, so I think this book makes about as much sense as the song, but the song is more lyrically consistent.
Like, a very quick interruption, like, something personally about my family. In my half my family lives in Florida, and we have a family Bible.
Florida Keys, they're lovely this time of year.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
We have a family Bible. And my mother, whom is currently visiting family down there, has just sent me pictures of the family Bible. It has like deaths and births and marriages.
Okay. I was going to ask what goes in a family Bible.
Yeah. Just I might look at that later on, but back to this. With the eyebrows. Dianetics elucidates various problems with its many discoveries, its axioms, its organization, and its techniques. In the progress of its development, many astonishing data were thrust upon it. From when one deals with natural laws and measurable actualities which produce specific and invariable results, one must accept that nature holds not what is pleasing or desired. When one deals with facts rather than theories, and gazes from the first time upon the mechanisms of human action, several things confound him. Much as the fluttering of the heart did Harvey or the actions of yeast did Pasteur.
The actions of yeast?
Yeah, I don't. Are they talking about like the scientist, something, whatever his first name is, Pasteur?
I
think
don't know.
Did he do something with yeast? I don't know.
Possibly. Now. Oh, carry on. I don't know.
The blood did not circulate because Harvey said it could, nor yet because he said it did. It circulated and had been circulating for eons. Harvey was clever and observant enough to find it, and this was much the case with Pasteur and other explorers of the hitherto unknown, unconfirmed. In Dianetics, the fact that the analytical mind was inherently perfect and remained structurally capable of restoration to full operation was not the least of the data found. That man was good. Yeah?
I figured out, I think he's using the word data as a plural by itself, which is not how that works.
No, it is not. No.
No, it doesn't do that. That's not how
No.
data.
I take issue with this.
Yes.
Yeah. That man was good. As established, yeah, man is naturally good. That hasn't been up for debate for the past 100-something. Yeah. There was it.
Let me sip my English pale ale.
Better than pale ales here, you know.
Or EPA as it's known.
That man was good. As established by exacting research, was no great surprise, but that an unaberrated individual was vigorously repelled by evil, and yet gained enormous strength, was astonishing, since aberration had been so long incorrectly supposed to be the root of strength and ambition, according to authorities since the time of Plato. That a man contained a mechanism which recorded with diabolical accuracy when the man was observably and by all presumable tests unconscious, was newsworthy and surprising.
Newsworthy.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive back in the 80s. But do you know of any newspapers that ran, man is naturally good, records in his sleep? Yeah?
Not from the 80s, no. I wasn't quite doing things in the 80s. But I can get hold of some people who were aware of newspapers in the 80s.
Know what? Terry Davis might know, I think.
Or I could go down to the library and get the big newspaper magnifying reedy thing and have a look. I could go for extensive library research. Well, I don't think my local library has one of those.
I wish my library had one of those. That seems like it would be fun.
They have a small computer room and some books.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To the layman, the relationship of prenatal life to mental function has not entirely been disregarded, since for centuries beyond count, people are concerned with prenatal influence. To the psychiatrist, the psychologist, and psychoanalyst, prenatal memory had long been an accepted fact, since memories of the world were agreed to influence the adult mind.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true.
Do you remember your time in the womb?
Vividly, don't you?
Well, maybe.
Like, I don't know. I don't know of anyone who can remember being in their mother's womb. I mean,
Are you aware of the clone troopers in Star Wars prequels?
yeah.
If you read some of the books around those, a very small minority of them could remember the tubes they were grown in.
Okay.
Completely unrelated to this conversation. I just like Star Wars.
Well, we can no longer be friends, Badger. I'm afraid the stream's over, everybody.
I must say, however, I only like pre-Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, not a super sci-fi fan. I think that's pretty clear from what we're reading.
Oh, I can give you a sci-fi influence on it. Not sci-fi influence, a sci-fi perspective.
Yeah, there was something that he brought up in the previous page, that it was like exacting experiments and precise science or whatever. But so far as I've read, it doesn't tell us what those tests were. Or
no, he just says a lot of sciencey sounding words.
Yeah.
Which is what a science fiction author, as opposed to a scientist, would do. That's why when you watch Star Trek, it's we'll bounce the tachyon particle beam off the main deflector dish.
Yeah.
And you're there going, yes.
So there's an episode of Star Trek, I don't know what, and I've been trying to find it, but there's just one scene where like plant creatures or viruses, that's what it is. Viruses grow to like human size and start like attacking people.
This is Star Trek Voyager, isn't it?
I believe so. And I've been trying to find that clip where they explain why it's happening. I have a little bit of a background with biotech, like biotechnology stuff. Gene editing and like microbiology. And I've been told that one scene is probably the most word salady, makes no sense, hurt your head explanation in all of Star Trek.
Let me see. The episode would be Macrocosm. Like microcosm, but big. Get it? I'm just looking this up with my sci-fi brain.
Alright, so the psychiatrist, psychologist, and psychoanalyst. Okay. Prenatal memories of the womb, agreed to influence the adult mind. Because that's very common.
Oh, I found the technobabble.
Oh, yeah.
The heating array overloaded. It incinerated a 12-kilo pot roast, and all the food replicators went offline. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Makes about as much sense as this. But the prenatal aspect of the mind came as an entire surprise to Dianetics, an unwanted and at the time unwelcome observation. Despite existing beliefs, which are not scientific facts, that the foetus had memory.
What's a foetus?
I don't know. I think he meant fetus. But he spelled foetus.
Oh, hang on. Has he spelt it the British way?
Perhaps. How do you spell fetus?
Foetus. Where is this?
Page 14.
Below memories of the womb. There we are. Right. Formed around the nerves. There will be those accepts and beliefs of paternal.
It's on line 7 down, third word in.
Well, it's not that paragraph then. There's only 6 lines in it.
No, the entirety of page 14 is one paragraph.
Oh dear. Yeah, I can't see it.
It's F-O-E-T-U-S. F-O-E-T-U-S.
Yeah, I think that would be the British spelling of fetus.
You Brits spelling things weird, adding extra U's and O's and like. It's confusing.
Well, you know, we've got to make ourselves look more intellectual somehow.
Well, yeah. The
I just got a
psychiatrist.
smoking jacket.
You know, not enough people have smoking jackets.
Yeah.
They're classy.
I agree.
The psychiatrist and other workers believed as well that memory could not exist in a human being until myelin sheathings was formed around the nerves. I don't know what myelin is.
Of course, it's the sheetings that form around the nerves.
Yeah. I don't know. That could very well be an actual thing. Because I do know that brain cells do have kind of like a coating around certain parts of them.
I know quite comparatively little about brain cells, other than they do that thinking thing, don't they?
Yeah.
I do know a little bit about. Excuse me. I do know a little bit about brain layout, though, because I found myself having a massive argument with someone on Twitter about. They were saying, "Well, the mind is independent of the brain," and I was like, "No, it's not."
No, mate, it's not. Yeah, so the myelin sheathing.
Yes.
Myelin sheathing. God damn it. This entire page is a single paragraph. It's very difficult to find something once it leaves your field of view. Was formed around the nerves. This was as confusing to Dianetics as it was to psychiatry. After much work over some years, the exact influence prenatal life had on the later mind was established by Dianetics with accuracy. There will be those who, uninformed, will say that Dianetics accepts and believes in prenatal memory. Completely aside from the fact that an exact science does not believe, but establishes and proves facts, Dianetics emphatically does nor believe in prenatal memory.
Yeah, but technically, science doesn't establish and prove facts. It establishes theories, which are the highest level of knowledge in science.
No, but this is an exact science. You know, not that...
Oh, an exact science.
Yeah.
None of that poncing around theoretical science.
Exactly. None of this you know, psychology or brain
dear.
chemistry. That's bullshit. That's...
Yes, it's all about engrams and the insulation wrapping, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. But does nor believe... Dianetics emphatically does nor believe in prenatal memory. What the f...
Does nor believe.
That's the T. I'm
Yes.
sorry, everybody. It's killed too many of my myelin sheathings. Does not, emphatically does not believe in prenatal memory. The fuck? They were just saying that prenatal memory is a thing.
Yeah, but you see, now it's not a thing.
Wait, what?
Because Elrond says so.
Yep. Oh, wait, fuck. No, that is nor. I was looking at... An exact science does not believe, but establishes and proves facts. Dianetics emphatically does nor believe in prenatal memory. Right,
Oh,
right
it
there.
is nor.
It is nor.
Just a second.
It is nor. I thought I was just being dumb, but no.
No, it is nor.
Elrond was being dumb.
Also, it says photos again later on, so keep going.
Dianetics had to invade cytology and biology and form many conclusions by research. It had to locate and establish both the reactive mind and the hidden engram banks, never before known, wait 1 sec, never before known before it came upon prenatal problems. Never before known before it came upon prenatal why is prenatal in air quotes? Are they saying that we aren't actually in a fetus? Like we're not actually feti? Prenatal does not exist?
I don't know. He's a bit silly.
Prenatal problems. It had been discovered that the engram recording was probably done on the cellular level. That the engram bank was contained in the cells.
Insert clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator Genesis going cellular level.
Cellular level. Yes. Yes. It was then discovered that the cells reproducing from one generation to the next within the organism apparently carried with them their own memory bunks. Their own memory bunks. Bunks. BNKS. Their own memory bunks.
Mm.
The cells are the first echelon of structure. Sorry, I gotta pull away so that people can actually see my face. Pull away back here. The first echelon of structure. The basic building blocks. They built the analytical mind. They operate as the whip, the reactive mind. Where one has human cells, one has potential engrams. Human cells begin with the zygote, proceeded in development with the embryo, becoming the foetus, and finally the infant. Each stage of this growth is capable of reaction. Each stage in the growth of the colony of cells finds them fully cells, capable of recording engrams.
Them fully cells.
They are them fully cell. Them cells there. Them fully cells.
Oh my.
I think that's the most British thing I've ever heard someone say. Just, oh my.
I can British for you if you like.
Oh, that was very British.
I used to join a Team Fortress 2 server called El Paso, Texas Gaming, and you know why I went on there.
Yeah.
Exclusively for the reaction. You know, I'd go on, hello, my colonial friends. They'd be like, oh my god, it's a British guy.
Yes. Yes. Hello to the colonies from Mother Britain. Don't worry, I'll come to take you back in another 100 so years when you've learned your lesson. Yes, when this doesn't work out for you.
Yes, you're not forgiven for the tea in the harbour escapade.
You know what? I'm American, and I can't forgive Americans for that. See, I'm half American, half Pakistani. I'm very upset about
Well,
the
that
tea.
explains the eyebrows.
Yeah, is that a thing in Britain? Is that a stereotype that Pakistanis have wild eyebrows?
Well, I don't know if it would be a stereotype, but a lot of the people from more of the Eastern persuasion that I have met, not the sort of, you know, Chinese, Japanese, Asian Eastern persuasion, but the more Middle Eastern persuasion, have rather thick and bushy eyebrows in my experience.
Yes, we're thick and bushy people. Hair everywhere. It's just it's a real problem. Just my head hurts now. My head hurts.
You will do a video series where you're reading Dianetics. Right, listen. Be calm. Listen to my calming voice. Everything will be fine. It's only 200 more pages. Probably a few more. There's nothing to worry about.
Wanna know the sad thing? This is one of 20 books.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to read all of them?
Yeah. I will read all of them.
Well, you'll have content for a while.
Years. Years will I have content. Okay. There is neither... Okay. Zygotes proceed... Yeah, my musical talents. The colony of cells finds them fully cells, capable of recording engrams. In Dianetics, prenatal memory is not considered, since the standard banks, which they serve the complete analyzer in the infant, child, and man, are not themselves complete. There is neither memory or experience, but the nerves are sheathed as far as Dianetic therapy is concerned. But Dianetic therapy is concerned with engrams, not memories, with recordings, not experience. And wherever there are human cells, engrams are demonstrably possible, and when physical pain was present, engrams can be demonstrated to have been created. The engram...
Can they, though?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously. L. Ron Hubbard said so.
Are you sure?
See, I'm just getting, like, all I'm thinking of is that, John Cena meme, where, like, part of the screen, he gets his face in it.
Yep.
Are you sure about that?
I have a green screen of that. I have yet to use it in a video.
Yeah.
I really need that in one of my videos. Just.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you sure about that?
Yeah, just swallow. Just. You need to. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but YouTube's just recommended me a Kent Hovind official video called 666 Mark of the Beast is the Rise of the Machines AI. I think I know what I might be doing a response video to.
Yeah. I almost asked Kent
Carry on.
Hovind to co-host with me today.
You should have got Kent Hovind, that'd be great.
I understand it would have been a 50-50 chance whether he would have accepted or not. Though I did not actually ask him. I might next time.
I'd like to co-host something with Kent Hovind.
Same.
And then just at the end of it, link him to my Noah's Ark video.
Just, know what? No. Right at the end of it, get Aaron Raw.
just bring him on. Just say, Aaron, just got something for you. What do you got? I'm co-hosting with Ken Hovind.
Alright, so where sheathed as far as Dianetics therapy, but Dianetics considered engram. The engram. The engram is a recording like the ripples in the groove of a phonograph record. It is a complete recording.
Wait, hang on.
Yes.
The ripples in the groove of a photograph record.
Phonograph. So
Phonograph, right? Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The ripples in the grooves of a phonograph.
Yeah, it had a little hissing sound as you said phonograph, so I thought it said
sorry.
photograph.
Yeah, photograph. Just... We got this, Badger. You and me. We'll make it alive.
It's all under control. We got this.
It is a complete recording of everything which occurred during the period of pain. So he's saying that we remember getting pushed out of vagina.
It does appear to be saying that, yes.
I don't know about you, but I do not remember that.
I think my mother remembers it.
Yeah, mine as well. You know, she mentions it every time childbirth, anyone's kid is brought up. Apparently, I was the easiest of the three of us.
Oh dear. Must have been the eyebrows.
Yes, the eyebrows. I mean, please. Glorious manifestation of facial hair.
I really enjoyed that Not Your Witness stream, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was pretty fun.
Did you see the bit where I fell asleep?
Did you see the bit where I fell asleep? Yeah, I did. I was there when you fell asleep.
Oh, it was excellent. Just
yeah,
Badger, what do you make of this?
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone asked me questions while I was asleep. But I think I dozed off.
They stopped after they realized.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke myself up and then was like, "Hey guys, I gotta go."
Yeah, that was pretty much my exit as well. Just
yeah.
Okay, I think I'll go to bed now.
Yeah.
It was only 5 a.m.
It's nothing. That's nothing. So Dianetics can locate with its techniques any engram with which the cells have hidden, and in therapy the patient will not often discover himself to be upon the prenatal cellular time track. There he will locate engrams, and he goes there only because the engrams exist there. Birth is an engram.
Oh.
Yeah. Birth is an engram and is recovered by Dianetics as a recording, not as a memory. By return and the cellular extension of the time track, zygote pain storage can be and is recovered. It is not memory. It impinged upon the analytical mind, and it obstructed the standard banks. Memory is stored. This is a very great difference from prenatal memory. Dianetics recovers. I'm going a lot. I'm going to try to stop that. Dianetics recovers prenatal engrams and finds them responsible for much aberration, and discovers that any longing for the womb is not present in any patient, but that engrams sometimes dictate a return to it, as in some regressive psychosis, which then attempt to remake the body into a foetus.
There's a lot of words in this book.
Yes.
By the way, I just thought I'd add at this point, one of the ways you can tell if you've pissed off a British person is, I don't know if this is universal, but quite a few British people that I know will begin to really over-enunciate what they're saying if you've pissed them off.
I mean, I know a couple people who do that. I just have this bad tendency. It's not even bad. I just enunciate words. I either enunciate words like very, on the button. I don't say button.
Very snappy.
Yeah, I don't say button.
Snappy like a crocodile sandwich.
Yeah, but I generally do enunciate words. Or I mumble, which doesn't, it's vast difference. I think we're almost done with the synopsis.
Oh shit! All right, well, let's get done with the synopsis, shall we?
This matter of prenatal life is discovered here at length in this synopsis to give the reader a perspective on the subject. We are dealing here with an exact science, precision axioms, and new skills of application. By them we gain a command over aberration and psychosomatic illnesses, and with them we take an evolutionary step in the development of man, which places him yet another stage above his distant cousins of the animal kingdom.
Blimey.
Introduction.
Fucking hell.
I should be an announcer. That's...
Coffee. You see, one of the things that I sometimes do is I might talk in quotes from things. They may not be well-known quotes. They tend to be quite obscure, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I've been quoting recently is I was playing a game, and there was somebody in it called Nanny.
Nanny?
And somebody was just called Nanny, and someone was complaining about something that Nanny was doing in the chat, and they just put it in all caps with a lot of exclamation marks, like Nanny. Like the clip from whatever anime it was. So me and a friend of mine just saw it and just looked at each other like Nanny. And immediately following it, the next line was just "fuck you." So, so we were just there going, "Nanny, fuck you." So then I popped up going, "Machine you." There you go. I thought you'd enjoy that.
I do. I enjoy that very much. So, we've finally reached the introduction.
Outstanding.
It's taken me 3 streams.
How long is the intro? Oh dear. The introduction's not too long. It's only like 3 pages, and then there's a how to read this book section, which really should have been before those.
So, would you care to continue on this journey and let introduce this? We've gone on.
Let's introduction. Let's do some introduction, shall we?
Yes.
Would you like me to read a few lines for you?
Sure, but first, Terry Davis was, if he's still in chat, was wondering if he could come onto stream, and I told him that sometime around the middle of stream, so about now, he could hop on. So, Terry, if you still want to do that, say something in chat. I can message you the link to get in.
Excellent. I have no objections here.
Yes. And...
Or
if you want Terry... if you want Terry, you can on a after show if, Badger, you want to do an after show where,
I can hang around a little. I don't want to be too late, but I can hang around for a little while.
Oh, yeah. So I think after the introduction, we'll start an after show. And Terry, if you want to jump onto that, that'll work out really well. But after this introduction, directly after, I believe you said you had some sneak peek for us?
I do have a little sneak peek.
All right.
Would you like me to read some intro before we do that?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Here, let me just make you the dominant screen.
Oh, I just call me Daddy.
All right, the stage is yours, Mr. Badger.
Introduction. The progress of mankind from the period of savagery to the present is marked with milestones. Conventional history books would have you believe that these milestones are battle monuments for the tombs of great men. Yet, there are more important markers of man's progress. And these are new ideas. Whenever a new idea has been created, man's chances for survival have been improved, and the arduousness, that's the word, and the arduousness is just fucking, I'm dyslexic, alright. And the arduousness of his journey away from animalhood is lessened. There have been numerous new ideas in the past. To name a few of the more obvious, consider the invention of the wheel, the control of fire, the development of mathematics, or even the newest one, the discovery of the means of atomic fission. Every one of these ideas has altered the progress of mankind, sometimes temporarily for the worse, but ultimately for man's betterment. What do you make of that?
I think that, in a way, he's not wrong, kind of.
Well, I don't think that bit's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's.
I think the rest of the book is.
Yeah, like there's definitely an argument that, that those could be considered major milestones in mankind.
I think there might be a few he skipped there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, fire?
No, he mentioned fire.
Oh, did he? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tell you what he didn't mention, though.
Beer.
He didn't mention beer, and he also didn't mention silicone.
Yeah, silicone was very important for the development of vibrators.
He also didn't mention the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. He didn't mention
a lot. To make the vibrating parts of vibrators.
Yeah, he didn't mention a lot of stuff. And I feel like the rest of this book will also not mention a lot of stuff. Like what
like things that make sense.
Yeah. Or like what the actual axioms, the very precise axioms are.
They're too precise to be written down.
Exactly.
If they are so precise that if you wrote them down, they would cut the paper.
Oh, yeah. Like, you'd write it down, and instantly it would light a flame.
Mm. Shall we have some more?
Oh, I think we shall.
Right then. In my opinion, Dianetics, in caps, is worthy of being called a new idea and is destined to take its place alongside of these other milestones of progress. Okay. It might even be considered to be more important than any of these, for it is a science for which the first time gives us an understanding of the tool with which these other inventions were created, the
Hello,
human
Mom?
mind.
Yeah, I just filled it up.
In the creation
Yeah,
of any new idea, there is one step which is highly important. It is so obvious
She stayed the
as
night
to
at
be
Ashley's.
frequently overlooked. This step, oh dear. The sine qua non of any idea.
Yeah, I'm just in the middle of something. A live stream. It's Saturday. Live stream. Alright. Love you. Bye. I am sorry. I just missed a bunch of that. My mother was calling me. Had to take.
Sorry, that's a minor inconvenience.
Yes. Where did you get to? I'm sorry.
About halfway through the next paragraph, and then there were some words that didn't make sense. Or not the next paragraph, the next few lines, because it's split up slightly differently on my screen.
Oh, weird.
I got in the creation of any new idea. That's where I was.
Okay. Warranted protagonist. 30, perhaps. Oof, darn. Is this after authority and authority? And an authority?
No. Or is it? It's just below, in my opinion, Dianetics is worthy of being called a new idea.
Does he capitalize Dianetics once again?
Yes.
The originator of Dianetics has, without slight, ooh, crap.
Up a little bit from there.
Now Dianetics to test this assumption?
No, up a bit. I haven't got that far.
Oh, okay. I must have touched the screen and it jumped or something like that.
No, let me get through this paragraph and see if I can read these words I can't read.
Oh, okay, I see it.
In the creation of any new idea, there is one step which is highly important. It is so obvious as to be frequently overlooked. This step, the sine qua non of any idea, those are words, consists in examining the basic assumptions of the subject and determining whether or not they need to be revised. The creator of a new idea asks, what would happen if I assume that this belief, which everyone has had for centuries, isn't necessarily so?
Oh god, he's a presuppositionalist.
The primitive man who invented the wheel did just that. His fellows assumed that when one wanted to transport an object, it had to be carried or dragged along the ground. The inventor changed the assumption and the wheel was born.
Yeah, it was pushed out of a vagina, and now it has engrams.
Round ones. Again, so long as man assumed that fire was dangerous and should be avoided, he made no attempt to control it. When some brave soul re-examined this assumption and decided that fire, although it entailed some hazards, might offer certain advantages to the dwellers in his cave, he took the first step towards the creation of the science of chemistry and nuclear physics.
I mean, I guess the first guy to make a fire and put some rocks around it and cook some roast mastodon over it was our first chemist.
Possibly?
Yeah. But I don't even think you could even say that. Like, is it... I don't know if it's that is so wrong that it's not even wrong, or if it's a statement that is just kind of true but not doesn't need to be said, kind of thing.
I'd say it's a statement that it's not wrong, but it's not helpful.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like saying, well, what was the first thing you did when you decided to make, let's think of something. Let's say that in a day you build a house. What was the first thing you did in that day that led to building that house? Well, I woke up.
I mean, that tells me a lot. Like, for example, it tells me that you're not dead, which is important for building houses.
Yes.
Oh. Yes. All right.
Where were we? The creation of the science of chemistry and nuclear physics. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is with Dianetics. In it, there has been a re-examination and a re-evaluation of numerous basic assumptions regarding the functioning of the human mind. The originator has had both the temerity and the wisdom to refuse to accept all of the old assumptions. For example, we have all assumed that when a person is unconscious, he is unconscious.
I mean, that seems like a pretty standard statement. Like
that's all there is to it.
One equals one.
I had to stop there.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. Leave that hanging.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen those YouTube poop videos where they take films and just recut the dialogue?
Yeah.
There's one from Revenge of the Sith, which is as they're flying towards the big battleship, Obi-Wan shouts Anakin, "Anakin, haven't you noticed the shields are still shields?" Like that.
Yeah. Just...
We assumed that when someone was unconscious, they were unconscious.
Because they are.
I assumed that my axe would work as an axe.
Yeah. I assumed I would lose brain cells when I read this. Like, you know?
Anyway, the originator of Dianetics was critical of that assumption and, as a result, was able to demonstrate that the mind is never totally unconscious. The assumption that nobody can remember anything which happened to him before the age of 3 or 4 also came in for consideration, and the result of these and other reassessments was Dianetics!
Yeah. Just, alright, so...
The originator of Dianetics is him, isn't it?
Yep. It's L. Ron Hubbard.
He's referring to himself pompously in the third person.
Oh, yes. I mean, the Brits are one to talk. The Queen only uses we, so...
Well...
Boom.
I'm trying to make some kind of comment about it is better than using poo, but... I've got nothing, I'm afraid.
Alright, so I can take the next page if you would like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes! One second, I'm going to make myself the dominant image on our screens. Alright, y'all can see my lovely face again. Not so lovely, but you can see it anyway.
Sorry, I can't see it behind the eyebrows.
My face is all eyebrows. Alright. Get my announcer voice on. Yes, basic assumptions are important. Especially important when they get such a strong hold on our ways of thinking that we can't get away from them. For hundreds of years, it was assumed that the sun and the planets revolved around the Earth. It was not until the assumption was tested and found to be faulty that modern astronomy was able to develop for hundreds of years a certain group of philosophers and religionists. What?
Oh, right.
Religionists have assumed that man is fundamentally evil. What? Oh, okay, that should have been a new paragraph.
Oh, that's something that's coming up in one of my next videos. Collaboration with Not Your Witness coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
For hundreds of years, a certain group of philosophers and religionists have assumed that man is fundamentally evil. Now comes Dianetics to test this assumption. It will be... Did my gains just go, like, through the roof and bust everyone's eardrums?
A little bit.
Rip headphone users. It will be highly interesting to see if there will be any change in our interpersonal relationships as a result of a new, different basic assumption. The basic assumption is also a long-lived brute, hard to kill. Perhaps one reason for his hardiness is that he feeds upon authority. There is a vast difference between authority and an authority.
Of course.
An authority.
Carry on. I must just sort this. Carry on. I will be right back.
Sure thing. An authority might be described as a man who propounds a basic assumption which is valid for his time and applicable to the state of knowledge at the time it was proponed, and has had his idea accepted. No doubt this man would not be at all averse to altering his assumption if a change in knowledge warranted it. I think we can assume different. The Catholic Church is still a thing. So is every other religion. So that's not necessarily true. His protagonists and disciples don't seem to act this way, however. Before very long, they begin to treat his idea as if it were some sort of divine revelation. Oh, that's why the Catholic Church still exists. And the man now becomes an authority. The words of an authority carry much more weight than do those of a mere authority. They are sacrosanct, holy, not to be questioned. The words themselves are authority. And in time, another change occurs. Authority becomes confused with knowledge, and is accepted blindly, unthinkingly. A man can even become an authority himself by knowing a great deal about the things authority said.
I have arrived. You may dispense with the pleasantries.
So what this paragraph here that I just read, I don't know if you caught any of it, but it's not necessarily not true. Like I would as an accurate reflection of reality.
The words of an authority carry much more weight than do those of a mere authority.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The words of an authority carry much more weight than those of a mere authority.
Yes. Authority. Respect my authority. No.
Precisely.
But yeah, no, I think that paragraph at least kind of makes sense. That someone like, if Jesus existed, I'm a bit of a mythicist, so, but if Jesus existed, I would like to think he would be open to changing his ideas. But then his followers treated what he said as like divinely inspired, and so cannot be changed. So, I mean, I guess I can understand that. All right. Who knows? Maybe I'll be done
That's one
reading
of the
this and I'll be a
reasons.
Scientologist. Who knows?
That's one of the reasons I'm in the business of opposing religion. Well, it's not exactly a business. I occasionally do videos on it, but
I mean, some people have turned it into a business.
I oppose certain areas of organized religion because they are dogmatic and not open to change and not open to new ideas and new information.
Yeah.
And that's why I do the things I do. Well, one of the reasons.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you know what? If we had the church from Doctor Who, like the future church in Doctor Who, where they just like dictate changes and everyone just like, yeah, okay, this is the new church.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be totally
Yeah, fair
opposed to it. Yeah.
I'd probably be opposed to the kind of authoritarian aspect of it.
Yeah.
But
But like,
I'm something of an anarchist in some ways, although not fully.
I mean, I feel like badgers don't have to with human governments, so
I live in the woods.
yeah.
Although we do have to deal with human governments because of the badger cull.
What's that?
Oh, the government's trying to kill lots of us because of bovine tuberculosis.
Oh, bovine tuberculosis. Perhaps the epitome of this sort of foolishness is exemplified in the attitudes of numerous doctors towards the work of Harvey, the man who first described the circulation of blood. Harvey's views, even though they were well-founded in observation and experimentation, ran counter to those held by his predecessors. Gallen, who was a great medical... What?
I'm just referring to Brantley, who's now on his computer.
Hey! There you go, Brant. Yeah. Where was that? Harvey... Gallen, who was the great medical authority of that day, so great was the controversy that some men took the stand... Oh, okay. That looked very wrong for me to, for a second. Male era cum Gallen quam vetrum Harvey impliciti.
Yes, I see your problem.
Yeah, I read those first three... Male era cum, and I was like, what the fuck does cum have to do with this shit?
Well, I think it's Latin.
I think he translates it for us. I would rather err than accept Harvey's truth.
Right. Well, why did you fucking write it in Latin in the first place, you prick?
Right? He's a sci-fi author. That's why.
This is not sci-fi.
No, but he's a prick.
Yeah, there we go.
Now, respect for authority is all very well. There are certain brands of authority which may tacitly,
I imagine. I've actually lost my face, though. Give me a second. Tacitly, yes.
Yes, may tacitly agree to accept, such as customs and morals. There are other brands of authority which we may vote to accept, such as our laws. But we should be wary of self-constituted authority, especially the type I have called authority. We should feel free to examine the basic assumption of any body of knowledge we wish, without fear of committing lay majest.
Where's lay majest?
Lese majeste.
Where? I've lost my place. Where? Oh, Lese Majeste. Yep, got no idea on that one.
Neither do I. But fuck him for using French.
Though, so yeah, don't want to commit it though. So
exactly. If any system of thought is going to wither in the light of investigation, it does not deserve the title of authority. The originator of Dianetics has, without the slightest effort towards being iconoclastic, succeeded in dislodging a good many of our false gods of authority from their pedestals. Perhaps the job wasn't too difficult. So many of the idols who... Perhaps the job wasn't too difficult. So he's talking about himself in the third person and then bragging that he just so easily, uprooted our belief system, man. Fuck him. So many idols who bear the name have feet of the poorest sort of clay. These authorities, whose work was sound and valid, are still in their proper places in the temples of knowledge. No, the temple of knowledge, and will no doubt remain. In early 1948, I first heard about Dianetics from a colleague. I studied it. Well, So is the introduction... The introduction wouldn't be written by L. Ron Hubbard. Alright. So he wasn't being a dick and talking to himself about in the third person.
Well, no, I'm going to dispute you there. You're still being a dick.
Well, he was still being a dick, but he wasn't being a dick by talking to himself.
Not quite in the same way.
Yeah.
Look how it's written. He's still being a dick.
Yeah. I mean, thus far, I can't say I disagree too much with this. This seems pretty standard stuff, don't just believe things because someone says so.
In any sort of cultish setup, there has to be an element of truth, otherwise people will just reject it. If everything there is bullshit, everyone will go, everything there is bullshit. But if it sounds reasonable to start with before it drags you in, that's how it drags you in.
Yeah. Warning to headphone users. In early 1948, I first heard about Dianetics from a colleague. I studied it, getting reports from others who were familiar with aspects of the therapy. Shortly thereafter, I corresponded with the originator of Dianetics, which resulted in my traveling east to study with him, and finally, in my experiencing personal Dianetic therapy under his supervision.
Oh.
So the guy who's written this introduction is like hardcore Scientologist, met L. Ron Hubbard. Probably in the Sea Org.
In the early days.
Yes.
Interesting.
Right, we only have another page and so to go. Yeah, then that will be the introduction. And then we'll finally be into Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, properly. So, do you want to take this, or shall I?
I'll read a bit more. Where are we?
Page 18. Top of the page.
Give me a second. What was the last thing you read?
Last thing I read was, in my experience, personal Dianetic therapy under his supervision.
Ah, there we are.
Yes. So we're on the next page. We're on page 18.
Oh, for the past year, I have been practicing Dianetics on my patients, on my friends, and on my family. For the first time in my life, I am satisfied that there is a method by which many questions hitherto unanswerable can be answered with definiteness and proven correct. That's poor sentence structure. Correct insofar as the improved health of the patient is concerned. Correct insofar as his well-being has been implemented by a feeling of security. Correct insofar as his approach to living has become more advanced, interesting, and productive of growth. To me, this correctness is meaningful and worthy of acceptance. Let me state this is my opinion. I do not urge you to accept that opinion. I would much prefer that you make your own tests of Dianetics carefully, impartially, and arrive at your own opinion. This statement is directed towards doctors in general, psychiatrists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, etc., as well as the layman. Dianetics is a science. It has certain laws, and by following these laws, we can predict the results which will be obtained under given circumstances. These laws have no exceptions, or at least no exceptions have been found. In this respect, the laws of Dianetics are like the law of gravity. If you suspend a mass heavier than air above the ground and then remove the support, it will fall. It won't fall 70% of the It won't fall 70% of the time or 80% of the time. It will always fall. And if it doesn't fall, we are justified in re-examining the law.
Okay, yeah.
Dianetics. Yeah. The discovery that engrams, the ability of the cell to record a lasting trace of an event, are recorded on a cellular level when the higher sphere of the mind is unconscious, insensitive, and not recording, as, for instance...
Wait, I thought the mind was always recording.
Shush. As, for instance, in severe injury, delirium, or surgical anesthesia, and that the recorded engrams then received are highly reactive. Portends a new trend for psychological and psychiatric thought and practice. The engram recorded during a period of unconsciousness is susceptible to reactivation during future periods of mental anguish. This fact has been found to be a single direct source of aberrated behavior. Its discovery and isolation with the mechanics of its operation within the psyche bring new and brilliant light to hitherto obscure phenomena of the mind and its behavior. The engram, hidden beneath unexplored layers of an unconsciousness, possesses a power of command not unlike that of a hidden and unsuspected monitor upon the conscious mind. It produces effects which are comparable to those of a post-hypnotic suggestion, though in a far more insidious and involved manner, and with greater and more tragic effect.
What? What is the tragic effect?
I don't know. It's Dianetics!
Oh. Why?
I think that makes it your reading too.
Yep, I think it does. The technique of Dianetic therapy is base. I just need to after the stream add in 808 bass drops right at whenever anyone says Dianetic. Dianetic.
You need to, that tune that appears in all the meme compilations.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how it starts. It's just there's the. Yeah.
The technique of Dianetic therapy is basically simple. It's basically simple, and can be understood and applied to each other by any two reasonably intelligent people after a brief study of this volume. Oh, so this is...
Brief study of this volume.
So this book is going to teach me how to audit someone.
Seems so.
Okay. Which is the operating manual for therapy? So this is the operating manual for doing auditing. Perfect.
That's what it says.
Dianetic psychiatric treatment of severe derangements is also delineated. No previous background in psychoanalysis or psychology is necessary. The therapeutic technique offered in Dianetics is independent of hypnotism or narcosynthesis. Okay. 1. Dianetics will help you to eliminate any psychosomatic illness from which you may suffer. Dianetics will help you achieve at least 1/3 more present capacity for work and happiness. Dianetics offers to the medical profession, to psychiatrists, to psychoanalysts, to all who are interested in the advancement of their fellow man, a new theory and technique which makes accessible for therapy, diseases, and which hitherto were unusually complex and obscure. Dianetics is the most advanced and most clearly presented method of psychotherapy and self-improvement ever discovered. At this point, I step out. The job ahead is yours. J.A. Winter, M.D.
Fucking hell.
I think the saddest thing so far is that he's an MD.
Yeah, that's what it says. But then I know some doctors who are a bit wonky.
Okay. So I think we're gonna leave off there.
I'd better do this little preview, hadn't I?
Yes. Do the one mo, and I will make you the full screen.
Now, the thing with this preview is, I think the way I'm going to do it won't allow it to have sound, which is fine. We're all fine here. How are you? What we're going to have is I will produce the sound myself.
Okay.
Manually. Through Dianetics! Right, let me just see if I can figure this out. Oh, yeah, it's in there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Are we in position?
We are in position.
Now, this is a quick little trailer for an upcoming project of mine. That's the wrong video. There we go. Imagine it's spy music. So yes, this is a trailer for oh, it's not quite at that bit where I start talking again. Oh yeah, here we go. Little trailer for Who's That Raccoon?
Oh. Okay.
Coming January 2018.
Well then.
Also featuring Not Your Winners.
Oh. Oh.
There you go.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. It was absolutely wonderful. So, other than so we're about to end the stream, and if you're still up for it, we can do an after show, little after show. Get Terry on here, maybe Brantley. But do you have anyone else you want to shout out, or anything you want to do? I have your channel in the description.
Oh, excellent. I do like my channel in the description. Who can I shout out? Well, let's start with myself. Hello, I'm Bad Tempered Badger. I talk about things on the internet sometimes. Who can I shout out? Well, the problem is a lot of the YouTube channels that I watch stuff on are considerably larger than mine. So there's really no point me shouting them out. Because everyone who watches me already watches them. Like I could say, I really quite enjoy Bionic Dance's videos, and there was like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, I quite like her. She's a cool person.
I really do enjoy Bionic Dance. Let me see. Well, here's the thing. Chap I did a debate with a while ago called Alpha 4 IV. He's actually, it's called Alpha 4, but the channel name is Alpha 4 IV. He's a Catholic guy. He does philosophy and martial arts videos, not generally mixed together. And
karate chop. Just said
philosophy chop. But yeah, I had a debate with him a little while ago. He's actually quite an interesting chap once you get past the monotone voice. So yeah, if you want a theistic perspective on things, have a check out of Alpha 4.
Yeah. So yes, I will be. Of course, this is my channel. If you haven't subscribed,
It is.
I know, right? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, hit that bell icon to get notifications. Normal things, but
all the best tapes.
Yeah. But I suggest going and checking out Brant's channel, Vibrantly Brantley. I can put him in the description in a little bit, or on the after show. He's does stuff sometimes.
I have been over there. It's rather enjoyable.
Yeah. So check him out. Nacha unfortunately wasn't able to make it on. He said he might.
He was in my preview though, so it's all right.
Yeah. So I did have Nacha on the channel. Yeah. So check him out too. But he has like, he has like 100 times more followers than me anyway. So don't need to shout him out.
Check out Not Your Winners. He's a fun boy.
Yeah, he is a fun boy. So good night all. Join me and Badger, if you would also like to join me, in a couple minutes on the after show.
Oh, yes. I shall drink myself into a stupor and pass out halfway through.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. See ya, everybody, in a couple minutes.
Well, good night.